To enter the evidence room, you must have a police issue identity card.
And I have the ID record for February the 21st right here. And there were 2 numbers on it.
Everyone's accounted for apart from the...
Hear the smugness in his voice.
Because he knows he's winning.
Yeah.
Someone else got a hold of Goodman's card.
You can suppose all you want, right, but unless you have evidence to back your claim...
You're right, he is very smug.
Yeah,
at this
that's
point.
the interesting balance of Edgeworth. You know, we know he is after the truth when it comes down to it, but he does like winning.
Yes.
This lost item report was filled out by Bruce Goodman on the day of the murder. Partially only. And my hypothesis is
We weren't
that he was
shown
intending to report
grabbing
the
that
loss of his
or
ID
finding
card.
that, were we?
Yeah, we were. Yeah, that was found off screen by Emma.
Yes, oh, of course.
Mistake. When Goodman was filling it out, he crossed a number out and rewrote it. Even then he got it wrong. But his card
The
has
trick is
his
if he
ID
had his card, he wouldn't have got it wrong.
Ah, very clever, Phoenix.
It's for some strange reason that part of the case really just didn't sit with me. I did not pick that part up at all. Even though I presented the right piece of evidence. It started, oh, that's a different explanation from what I was working on.
Yeah.
So when we take in all the facts, it becomes apparent that Goodman isn't involved in this incident at all. What's the matter, right? You realize what you've done?
This is quite brilliant in the fact that Phoenix Wright pretty much, by being so clever and solving this case, has just put his client in even more hot water than before.
Yes, but I mean we're nearing the halfway stage. It's time that we heighten the tension a bit.
And started getting a little bit of explanation as well.
Yeah.
Some of the red herrings getting kicked apart.
Yeah. Always retain the sense of mystery till the end, but you know, give little snippets away throughout the middle.
There has to be, otherwise you just get irritated.
Yeah, about the lack of answers.
I have watched plenty of things where they just do no answers until the very end, and even then it's just too much information. It's just an
Higurashi
overload.
notwithstanding.
Yes.
Your Honor, the defense has a specific witness in mind.
That nod, I think that nod is the sign of a turning point where Emma starts to take over today.
Yes. It also sort of indicates that that's who they were referring to earlier.
Mm-hmm. Ah, see, here we have the mystery man.
Yes, the one whose fingerprint was for some reason there. He doesn't look very mysterious.
No.
I mean, if you're going to commit a murder, you wouldn't be the only person in town who dressed up as a cowboy, because you'd get spotted, wouldn't you?
You would, wouldn't you?
Which kind of brings to the point of why all the Phoenix Wright characters are so eccentric. You'd think somebody that eccentric looking committing a murder
Would
people
stand out
Yes,
more.
they'd know it was him.
I think this is one of my favourite courtroom scenes of all.
Sorry, partner.
Just for the music as well.
The music, true, but the I don't know, the fact that the person who's the subject of suspicion is now is someone who's been a friendly face for so long in the
Yes.
story so far.
The what now?
It's a curveball, so to speak.
Yeah.
Never heard of those, do Higgins?
Oh, Jake Marshall, you work in the security guard's booth, and you are so technically unminded.
Mm-hmm. This is also one of my favourite scenes on a slightly more selfish note, because this is one of my favourite objection speeches. This is one of the ones I think I did the best.
Then why'd you ask? Because I wanted to.
Big lock of hair in the face there.
You can tell from the previous scene that the hair has just shrunk.
Yeah.
What do you mean? When we examined the evidence room, we found a single clear fingerprint. Not just any old fingerprint, this one had blood on it. We had it analysed by the police department forensics team. It's yours, Jake Marshall. Are you for
What's
real?
amazing is his excuse for his bloody fingerprint being there is that his fingerprint was there and somebody put blood on it. Which I'm pretty sure in any actual courtroom would not wash at all.
How did you know about the other print? I like to keep up to date with the case reports.
But it does serve well to heighten his suspicion, the fact that he's just there dancing out of reach of suspicion.
Oh, he does incredibly well though. He's always like, oh, that is the case, but this, but this, circumstantial evidence, but this.
Yeah. And the
constantly.
fact that he gets the hump with the judge as well.
Yes.
First, I just want to know
Of
one
that,
thing.
I don't care for your beard. That's another line that I think was pretty good, pretty well done.
That one, on the other hand, I think that one was lifted straight from the video game.
It might have been.
Good. Then I can say with complete confidence you were there when this murder happened. Not only that, I can point you out on
Then tell us, Phoenix.
If we look at your locker later on, we see that it's changed. There's a piece of cloth sticking out of it. So you must have opened your locker at the time of this
I can't remember if
recording.
it was Steve. No, it wouldn't have been Steve. Whoever was playing Steve that day actually ran back and put it in the locker, or you just hid out of sight and somebody else put it in the locker.
Ah, yes. No, I think it was Danny actually, because Jamie was on camera, you were lying on the floor, and I was hiding out of sight.
That's the good thing about having more people there than were actually there in the game. It's a lot easier to work around.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he doesn't know about the lockers, doesn't know about all the lights and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings me to exactly where you were.
Yes, no, I think that is a good filming philosophy, and one that I think is followed in general. Always have more people than are going to appear on camera.
Yeah. At least one to be the camera person.
Exactly.
Gloves off, Mr. Marshall. I put it to you that the figure in the coat is you.
Not bad. You almost had me there, partner.
Ooh, still dancing.
Oh yeah, he's not giving in.
Like your whole case is resting on circumstantial evidence. You might have proved I opened my locker, but you can't
I'm going to
any
say
more
this
than-
again. Steve is just perfect on every level as Jake Marshall.
He's got the accent down. He's got the attitude down. He's got the look for the cowboy.
He looks more like him than anyone I know.
I think he was probably one of the people who you could put him right up next to. You'll see in the credits when we put people next to who they're meant to look like. He's one of the people that looks the most similar to. So second, possibly either Michael as Edgeworth or Drew as Gant.
Yeah.
/ Judge, although Judge is quite easy to do.
Now I'm going to make a great effort not to just stop and watch the video here, because as I said, this is my favorite bit with me in it. So I'm gonna try not just sit back and relax here and think of something to talk about.
Well, it's fine to. Everyone has a specific scene that they like the best, and cast and crew as well. So it's fine.
Yeah. Oh no, I want to point that out. I am by no means my favorite character in this. So many people did a much better job than me. I would say.
I agree.
Awesome. No, I would say if there's an award that can be given to me, it is for being the most frequent.
He's Phoenix Wright. You're the main character. You're also the director and the writer, so I'm not saying you specifically gave yourself more stuff to do, but I couldn't have thought of anyone else who'd play Phoenix Wright, in all fairness, when looking through the people available.
If that's your opinion, I would say we didn't really look.
I even dodged my way around security cameras so my face wouldn't be seen. And then Meekins turned up.
But now this makes no sense. Now that's the real Steve as Jake Marshall, but that's me as you.
Is it just me, or does when he turned around grabbing his hat, he just looks like Michael Jackson?
Does a bit. Smooth criminal.
Listen, the number of times that I've been stabbed and thrown around and beaten up in films is reaching quite a staggering stage at this point.
It's ridiculous. I think you need to take out some insurance.
I do all my own stunts.
Yeah. Hey. Except then when I did your stunt for you.
Yes, that was that one scene which wasn't.
There was no murder in the evidence room at 5:15 on 21st.
So there was only one murder, which means
now Marshall's glowing honesty comes through.
and Phoenix just realised that he's pretty much just wound himself round Edgeworth's finger here.
Exactly. Phoenix realized he's sunk himself. Who's gonna save him?
Did I say continue? I meant finish.
That line from Michael was fantastic.
The head banging there, or the elbow banging, so as not to bang my head there. That was, of course, taken from the game as well.
So many questions yet to be answered. They are not relevant to the case on trial, and in light of this new evidence, this court finds the defendant, Lana Skye.
Hold it!
Yeah, there you go. Emma gets her comeuppance here.
Yes.
Sorry,
Right,
comeuppance?
gives comeuppance. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Now, yes, I'm struggling to remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure this bit does not happen this way in the game.
Not exactly.
No, but I don't think Emma ever properly takes over as the attorney, as it were.
Yeah, she objects, and then Phoenix Wright kind of takes that and runs with it.
Yeah.
I prefer it this way. I think.
Yes, I think here it was. I mean, it's breaking all the rules, but I think Emma deserved a proper spotlight for this bit. And Danny, because she sat through so much without being the centre of attention that she frankly deserved this.
Couldn't possibly have been made while Mr. Marshall was in the room. Because of him.
Again, the blue badger.
Not that cardboard eyesore.
Cardboard eyesore, come on, Edgeworth. We spent a lot of time on that. It is a bit of an eyesore.
I would say we spent roughly a whole afternoon on that.
Yeah, like at least an hour.
before the incident occurred.
What does the prosecution have to say to this?
Actually, Your Honor, the prosecution must concede that the defense has a point.
But I thought he was out to win. What's he saying?
Another problem. Once it was found that we're no longer dealing with second murder, we were forced to reconsider the evidence, and we left something out.
We did?
Indeed, Miss Skye, if you recall, a substantial amount of blood was detected.
Notice that Phoenix had just given up at this stage.
Yeah, he's just letting Edgeworth and Emma go to it. Yeah.
duke it out.
I think there may have been a murder in the evidence room, but at a different time, and both blood traces are related to it.
But Mr. Edgeworth,
Conspicuous open courtroom door behind the judge.
Bruce Goodman.
In which is most of the crew
Yeah.
waiting around.
Most of the crew are hiding so as to keep out of shot.
But it does make sense.
but the chief prosecutor was seen stabbing Goodman, and the evidence supports that.
The irony, by the way, was not lost on us that we are using this hall as a courtroom and there is a badminton court painted on the floor.
Yes.
It is a court, but of a different variety.
And in a way, that was almost good because it meant that we could always put everything in the same place, because we knew where it was from previous days,
Exactly, they were good reference markers.
even if it does show up occasionally.
Ah, the idealist.
I always think he says it so quickly it sounds like the idealist.
The idealist something or other.
Identified handprint was hidden behind the Blue Badger. It must have been made before Meekins brought in the Blue Badger at 4:50, which would make the murderer one of the top 2 entries on the list.
But Mr. Edgeworth, the second
Oops.
is yours at 4:40.
Things do slow down a bit here with the hefty amount of exposition.
A genius to work out that it couldn't have been me. Meekins came in 10 minutes after me. I couldn't possibly have committed the murder, cleaned up the blood, and made away with the body in time.
Which leaves the entry at 4:20.
Luckily, things are still moving at a nice pace, and I think everyone's giving a good performance at this stage because we're still in the first half of the
Yeah.
day.
Who says, by the way, when they say 7/7s, who says 777 like Emma does there? That's a very odd way of saying 7/7s.
Hey, well, it's not inaccurate.
I know, but
You can't falter on it.
You prosecutors with your loopholes and your cover-ups.
I would appreciate it if
every witness so far has hated prosecutors with the exception of Mike Meekins.
Yeah.
Not you.
Now I said that speech that I gave before was my favourite bit with me in it. This is my favourite bit of the entire film. The bit where we have the indistinct shouting.
During that case, we sometimes felt that the law was powerless. At least I did. Lana? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. We did what we had to do to bring the murderer to justice,
What are you saying?
even if it involved forging evidence.
Yeah.
And the courtroom dissolves.
Yeah. No, I think it was a good decision to meld 3 audio tracks together to make an indistinct rabble of argument. And the gavel slams just add to that. I think this is probably our best bit. There it is. Steve loved saying that line. He just couldn't get enough of the "you're playing with people's lives here."
To quell the noise. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until tomorrow.